Hey guys, Nicole, I'm back here with the questions on how to stump a Mason. No, really, it's questions on how the divine feminine relate to Masonry. So David, we're here. You've already introduced yourself. We're on week 2 of questions for a Mason. So what role or how are women involved, and how does that relate to maybe the astrological signs of Virgo, female, love, any astrology, anything like that?
Well, one of the great things about Freemasonry is every guy who comes to lodge, it's because his wife or girlfriend lets him. So that's, the big thing. And
So he can't just run out of the house and decide he's
correct,
going on his own free will.
And, contrary to popular belief, I can't think of a better place to watch Monday Night Football. And after a meeting or during an intermission or before the meeting starts. But seriously, everybody who has gone through the line and become a worshipful master of a lodge or maybe a grand master has had a good support. And I would say there's a good percentage of the Grand Lodge Grand Masters have had a wife or girlfriend who was involved in Masonry in some aspect. Either their children are Rainbow Girls, or their wife was belonging to the Order of Beauseant, or maybe the Daughters of the Nile or something like that. So it's not like we have a lodge and we go there and we just slam the door and we exclude women. And women.
It's not the He-Man
Correct.
Women Haters Club of the Little Rascals.
It is not. It is not. And before the meeting, before we what we call drop the gavel, women are absolutely allowed to come into fellowship dinners and have fellowship. And the only time that women are not allowed in a craft lodge or blue lodge meeting is once the door is shut and we drop the gavel. For that hour, it's the men doing their lodge, their business. And
right, because you guys, I don't want you to feel left out here like they're pushing you out, because there's many things that we do as women that we ask men to not join, whether it's certain female retreats or it's certain yoga or kundalini classes that we go to that are all women. And I sure do that. And my other half does his things. But, there are times that we join together, and there are times that we need to ignite certain energies separately and be in our own self or our own self-care. And there's times that we need to join. So let's not make this as separate as you think it is. So how does this go with when we're talking astrology or astrological signs like Virgo and the female? So you're not like in sense worshiping that, you're just adding that energy and making it more of a positive and not necessarily acknowledging, I would say.
One of the things that I discussed last week, or I just made mention of it, is Masonry is very deep in allegory, symbolism, the esoteric, ideologies. And one of the big things that we do is we have, as you enter a lodge, upon any well-governed lodge, there's going to be 2 pillars: a pillar of strength, and etc. And on top of these pillars is one of the spherical bodies. If you look at the imagery of Masonry, you always see a pillar on the right, a pillar on the left, with 2,
so like here,
correct, with 2 spherical bodies.
2 pillars.
If you notice the one has the lines on it that indicates Earth.
This one,
right, and the other one that indicates that's a spherical body that has the heavens, the stars, and certain particulars. And in that, a lot of times you will look at if you go to certain hotels, for example, they have an astrolabe on the inside of the band of that. You will have all of the symbols of astrology. And very prominently is Virgo, of course, which is.
We have one here in Vegas at the Venetian, and it's in the main entrance. By a body of water, which is always accelerates and adds the blessings and keeps the flow of the energy in it. And then with, I believe it's with 3 women.
Correct.
And so that's the trine, the women, the divine feminine, and also the astrolabe pictures of the zodiac signs on top, which is very beautiful. And I see people looking at that. I often wonder if they have any clue what it represents.
That definitely could be a symbol. I mean, it could mean a number of things, but that's definitely a symbol that that Masonry uses. So as you say, the astrolabe being held up by the three women, which we would call the three graces. So another symbol in Freemasonry is when somebody passes before their time. Mm-hmm. That's symbolized by a broken column, and there's a young lady with long curly hair weeping over the broken column, and sits behind her father time, unraveling and counting the ringlets of her hair. Oh, wow. You know, so that's a really big thing. You know, with Freemasonry being, you know, we are born, we live our long life, and the great architect of the universe calls us from our labors to rest, and the females could be considered a weeping virgin, with father time uncounting the ringlets of her hair.
So she's not weak, and
no,
her weeping
no,
and that
means,
symbolism,
right.
She's not weak. She's just showing her empathy
Correct.
or sympathy
Correct.
for the person that is lost.
And father time unfolding and counting the ringlets of her hair indicates that our time on this earth is limited. We are mortal beings. We're not.
Absolutely. We're not here to live forever.
Right.
Not on this earth. We're of the earth, but not on the earth. We walk on the earth, which is a very beautiful symbol. And here again, it's how we balance male and female, guys. You know, look at this on what we've missed over the years, whether it's in the Bible, it's in the Torah, or in Masonry, or we look at sacred geometry. If we look at the Bhagavad Gita, all the symbolism, the rich symbolism that goes in there. And it's when you ascend and who you are and what you allow to come to you and what you wake up to, what you open your eye, like even right here, look at this eye, that wide eye, right? The all-seeing eye, our psychic eye. How does that work together? What are we, the intuition, are we integrated with that higher consciousness so we can look at the rewards that are rich on the earth in the symbolism? We have lost that. But what is a beautiful thing is, how long has Masonry been on the earth?
Thousands of years. Some say that the first actual, it wasn't called Freemasonry, but the actual initiation of a lodge as we know it goes back over 4,000 years.
And so for 4,000 years, that's a spoken word or a spoken tradition that has been put on the earth. And we have missed this by shutting down to our society and by not reaching out to other people to learn and grasp that knowledge. And so that's what we'll bring to you today, is another Ask a Mason video. This is the second one. We're going to work on the third one. You'll see that out next week. And now you see where the feminine has such a beautiful role, such a touching, loving role with her heart, with her relationship as a female, the Virgo, the virgin, the richness of that newness to take that bite of knowledge, right, off that tree of life, and to learn what role we represent, and to be thankful for having those roles, because I feel that we have lost those definitely over a period of time. It's not our role to put us to shame, and it's not our role to keep us down. It's our role as a divine feminine with a divine masculine, working in unity to keep the balance of the earth. Right? We have to work with our trees, with our animals, and with each other. And that's to love your fellow men and to be part of that and to learn. And as you learn, you evolve. You have no choice but to ascend. When you close off and you start to blame and say that the other person doesn't understand you, you may not have walked in their shoes or understood them. So we're just here having a little conversation. We'll catch you next week. Don't forget to like and subscribe and put those questions down, because the video with him, the live on Soulful Illumination, will be coming up the end of October. Have a great day, guys. Here we go. Hey.